Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be banishing your inner beta. I've got a really great success story from a guy, 50-year-old cognitive therapist in New York, and he lost his wife at 25 years to diabetes, very tragically. And then about 2 years, how he found out about me is about 2 years after his wife has passed away. He was back in the dating game. Met this girl 10 years younger than him, fucking knocked his socks off. Things obviously went sideways because it had been a long time since he was out of the dating. I mean, really, it sounds like, you know, if you look at his age, I mean, he was obviously probably teenage years, maybe early 20s when he met his wife, and he's pretty much been with her his whole life. So here he is, 50 years old, and now he's back to being single again after being out of the game for literally decades. So obviously he found my work, had a bad experience with this girl, and he shares his success story of how great his life is now, some of the really cool things that his girlfriend has said to him. And even one night on a date, he got arrested. He got pulled over by a cop on a date with her, got arrested, and it's amazing her attitude towards the whole thing. And it just goes to show, when you know the book backwards and forwards and you understand this stuff, you attract a good quality woman. You can have a great quality relationship for however long you decide you want to stay in it. Put you in the driver's seat. So I got a quote that I wrote, and then we'll go through this guy's email to see what he did successfully. The quote says, "Alpha males believe in themselves and understand their value. They expect to win eventually and tend to have high standards. They know that anything worth having or creating never comes as a result of being impatient. It comes as a result of consistent action, effort, analysis, adaptation, and infinite patience. It's not about looking for what's missing from your life, but about becoming the kind of person you need to be in order to attract it naturally. Like attracts like. Water seeks its own level. Become what you want to attract." So he says, "Hey Corey, I'm a 50-year-old cognitive therapist who lives in New York and who lost his wife of 25 years to diabetes. About 2 years after her death, I went online and met a beautiful girl 10 years younger than me. I was head over heels in love with this girl and eventually got dumped." That fucking stings. Especially after that being the first relationship after you've lost your wife at 25 years. It's not an easy thing to get over. Because in essence, it's like when a relationship ends with somebody you really love and you really care about, and especially when it's not your own choice, in essence, it's another death. It's a death of that relationship. The White Walkers. What'd you guys think of the fucking dragon at the end of this season there? It was like, I didn't see that coming. I was too embarrassed to address this with a therapist of my own, so I searched the internet for some help. I ran across your work and I got your book. I was in such pain that I read your book 5 times in the span of a 2-week period. See, that's somebody that's really committed to learn and absorb this information, unlike the last video that I did where the guy claimed to have read it 2 times and was basically wanting to argue with me about what's in my book, even though he really didn't understand what was in the book. He says, retrospectively, by the end of my first reading, I saw exactly the beta male mistakes that I continuously made throughout that relationship, and more hopefully, saw a roadmap to never repeat those mistakes. I love what he says here. It's like the most successful people in life, they have the attitude of, just fucking tell me what I need to do. Just give me the knowledge, give me the skills, give me the strategy, and I'll fucking do it so I get the results that I want. And here's what he says. He says, a compliant patient takes medication exactly as prescribed by their therapist. I followed your recommendations to the letter. I went out to the mall. I smiled at people. I started conversations. I revamped my image. And so probably the video that he's talking about is how to improve your social skills. It's about 12 minutes long. For those who've been out of the game for a while and you want to get, you know, maybe you're afraid to approach women. Maybe you're not good at starting conversations. So I did a short 12-minute video several years ago called Improving Your Social Skills. It gives you a protocol of some steps to follow that each little step is like kind of climbing a staircase. Each thing's a little bolder, a little bit more risk than the last one until you get to the point where you're literally setting dates on the spot. But the good news is you work up to it. And if you do the work, you'll get the results. And as my confidence began to build, I began to attract exactly the kind of women that I had described in my pros and cons list, as well as in my love letter. Eventually, I met a woman who seemed to come straight from the page of my love letter and list. This woman is a ballerina, television and movie actor, and a model. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that this kind of woman would be attracted to me. But as I continuously use your technology as a buffer to resist behaving with Neolithic incompetence, it seems that I am doing everything right, and here is the evidence. This guy's a great fucking student. Obviously, him being a therapist and understanding what he understands from his perspective, guys like that can apply because what's interesting, because I've coached a lot of therapists and counselors and psychologists over the years. One of the things they always say when we first start our phone sessions, well, you know the reason why most of us go into psychology and therapy because we're so fucked up and we're just trying to figure out ourselves. But you know, having coached a lot of therapists and psychologists and counselors over the years, it's like they're very growth-oriented people. It's like they want to understand how to get better. And I love being able to have them taking the coaching aspect, which is, as a coach, just like Vince Lombardi said, coaching is about teaching, really. It's about teaching strategy, successful negotiation strategy in your personal life and your professional life. Because these things apply not just to your interactions with women, but to every interaction you have with other human beings. It can really give you the upper hand, especially in a negotiation. He says, by about our 8th or 9th date, she says to me, "Sweetheart, I have to tell you, what really set you apart from all the other guys that I was dating is the fact that you didn't blow up my phone and you didn't pressure me for sex on the first date." So this right out of the, what's the title of the book? 3% Man, because 97% of the guys don't fucking get it. And so when you exhibit these behaviors, women are so excited and so grateful that you're showing up this way because they see it so rarely. And here's a woman, again, complimenting this guy because he's acting like a man is supposed to act. So good job, dude. Very proud of you. And when I didn't hear from you 5 days after our first date, I was intrigued. So what's he doing? He's just calling her one date per week. He's busy. He's got other things going on in his life. She's not the first pretty girl that he's met in his life. And even if she was, because he's taking his time and he's in no rush, just like 99% of the other guys that she's going to encounter are, who are blowing up her phone, who are just trying, focused on sex. They don't understand the seduction process. They don't understand to get a woman to the point where she's all wound up and has a sexual anticipation and wants to have sex. She went on to say so many other things, and the remarkable thing about what she was saying was that it was almost verbatim from your book. I mean, yeah, a lot of things that it's interesting that women say to guys when they're happy or they're feeling a certain way. It's like, you see, I mean, they're written right in the book, and you'll often see women that you're dating say the same damn things to you. Makes you wonder if there's like some fucking conspiracy that women have this book of all these little phrases and sayings and things they know about. It's not you, it's me. Those kinds of things. I only think of you as a friend. Sparks miss. I don't feel a spark. There's no chemistry. More evidence of how totally in love this woman is with me is the fact that on about our 6th date, I got pulled over by the cops for making an illegal turn, naughty, when I learned that my registration was expired. Where I learned my registration was expired. My car was impounded and I got arrested. Well, that sucks. You're out on a date night and you get fucking arrested. Didn't see that coming. And this is, now a guy who is in this situation, is he going to get upset? Is he going to lose his shit? or is he going to maintain his emotional self-control? I mean, because obviously you're on a date with a girl that you really like. You know, it's obviously, probably about 2 months down the road, but you don't want to get pulled over and get arrested. I mean, it's obviously embarrassing to anybody. But he says, not only did my lady keep her cool the entire time, partially because I kept my cool as well. Remember, women are gonna respond to you and treat you basically in direct proportion to how you're personally showing up yourself. But I gave her a few dollars and I said, I want you to take the train home. She looked, I love what she says. She says, she looked at me and said, fuck that, I'm not leaving my man up here. That's somebody that's on your fucking team. Not only did she stick around, but she bailed me out and said, sweetheart, if you want to go home, I totally understand. To which I replied, hell no, I waited all week to see you and we're going on our date. Direct, decisive, gets right to the fucking point. He's accomplishing his mission no matter what, which is we're going on a fucking date despite the fact I got arrested. How awesome is that? We went to a nice restaurant and had a great meal and sat there for hours having a great conversation with a few kisses here and there. We took a taxi back to her house. She not only made me a snack, a Scooby snack, awesome, but we had an awesome episode of the Indoor Olympics. I want you to know that as an expression of my gratitude, I pledge not only to never go back to being a beta male, but will spread the gospel of the 3%. Well, referrals are always appreciated, and I'm honored. Thank you. The highest compliment that anybody can give me is to refer their friends or family, my videos, my book, or my website. So thank you. I've already shared this with friends and colleagues and even total strangers as I see them arguing with their girlfriends out on the street. I will close by congratulating you for being my 2017 Person of the Year, awarded to the individual who has had the most impactful effect on my quality of life. I'm honored. Thank you, dude. Anytime you're in the New York area, you have a friend, Bob. Well, thanks for the great success story, Bob, and congratulations on all your success. That's awesome for you, and thanks for sharing that great success story with all of us. And for those of you that would like to get my help personally, maybe so you can create your own similar success story, maybe you're struggling, maybe you're having some challenges, you can go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book whatever coaching option works for you. And I will talk to you soon.